Strong storms turned deadly for a Texas man in northern Michigan after he was struck by lightning in Manistee County. The sheriff says it happened around 4:30 yesterday afternoon on North Country Trail in Dixon Township. This is the area near the strike. The sheriff says the man was struck in the head and died at the scene. His name has not been released. Stay with Northern Michigan's news leader as we work to keep you updated. New on Michigan this morning, a homeowner in Grand Traverse County is safe after lightning struck very close to their home. Grand Traverse Metro fire units responded to the smell of smoke inside of a home. The homeowner says lightning struck extremely close to their house during yesterday's storm and tripped several breakers. Using a thermal imaging camera, firefighters located this hot spot in the floor. Firefighters determined that a shorted wire heated up enough to melt through a flexible gas pipe can, causing a small leak. Firefighters say quick thinking and action of the homeowner saved what could have been a very different scenario.
It's almost 5:03 now on Michigan This Morning. More than 1,000 people in Clare County are still without power after strong storms tore through the area. The thunderstorm swept through, knocking down trees, taking power lines with it. Crews spent hours working to get the lights back on in Otsego County, where people lost power for several hours. This morning, many are left to assess the damage and begin cleaning up downed and damaged trees. Stay with Michigan This Morning as we work to update you on the status of these power outages. State police are searching for a missing kayaker this morning after his kayak flipped over in a Benzie County river. Tyler Spink and his friend were out on the Platte River heading towards Lake Michigan when their kayaks flipped. The Coast Guard station in Frankfort says they got the call around 9 Monday night. Tyler's friend was rescued, but Tyler is still missing. Crews spent all day yesterday looking with every resource they have, pulling together with several different agencies. The Coast Guard is suspending their search efforts as Michigan State Police take over. Now that the water has settled, Michigan State Police will be using their sonar equipment to continue their search for Tyler.
This morning, Cadillac firefighters are trying to figure out what started a house fire. This was the scene last night when a home on Mosser Street caught on fire. When crews got there, they saw flames coming out of the front windows. Fire crews found the flames had spread to all levels of the home, but they say it's not destroyed. Crews spent more than an hour putting out the fire.
We rolled up because the fire was rolling pretty good out a couple windows in the first floor. We did have fire in the basement, first floor, and the second floor. And we did do a primary search because when we first showed up, the neighbors were thinking that somebody was home.
The homeowners were in their backyard when the fire started, and everyone is okay.
New on Michigan This Morning, thousands of students and employees around the world returned to ITT Technical Institute after the Labor Day weekend, only to find out it's shutting down its campuses. ITT Tech said in a statement that it is ending academic operations at all of its more than 130 campuses and that 8,000 employees have been let go. Just last month, the Department of Education banned the school from enrolling new students who use financial aid. Students say they were given no warning and only received a one-page email about the immediate shutdown.
I have to find another place that will accept me, if anywhere, and to do something. I was a waitress for over 25 years. I can't do that anymore. I'm 58 years old. I need education. I really do.
Some students say they are unsure if their credits will transfer or if their degrees will mean anything. ITT Tech told students they can still log on to the school's website to access important items like their transcripts.
In this update, an effort to fund the fight against the spread of the Zika virus has failed to move forward in the Senate. An agreement could not be made for a measure that would have provided $1.1 billion to fund the fight against Zika. The White House says Senate Democrats blocked the measure because $750 million was taken from other programs and because Republicans added provisions to block funding to Planned Parenthood. The White House has been looking for anti-Zika funding since February. The vote was 52-46. 60 votes were needed for the measure to pass. New on Michigan this morning, the U.S. House approved legislation to make sure that sexual assault survivors in federal criminal cases have access to forensic evidence collection kits. The bipartisan bill, known as a Survivor's Bill of Rights, comes after a national outcry over the sexual assault of an unconscious woman by a former Stanford University swimmer. The House bill makes sure survivors in federal criminal cases have the right to a sexual assault evidence collection kit, the right to know the results, and the right to be notified in writing before that kit is destroyed. It's 5:07 now. Michigan this morning. Most law enforcement carry tasers on their belts to defuse arrest situations that may otherwise escalate more quickly.
But sheriff's deputies in one northern Michigan county have never used them until now. New on Michigan this morning, 9 and 10's Adora Namigadeh is live in the newsroom to explain why the Missaukee County Sheriff's Office made this change. Good morning, Adora.
Good morning, Adam and Courtney. The Missaukee County Sheriff's Office has gone without tasers for years, but now they say that tasers are an essential step in their line of defense.
We want to prevent, we have never had one here, a shooting with a firearm. So this is one more thing.
Missaukee County Sheriff Jim Bosher says the climate is changing, and he wants his deputies to be prepared.
We've had several scenes where we've had some very physical struggles with some people when they were trying to be arrested.
If someone isn't complying or responding to physical force, deputies can display a taser. They haven't actually deployed their tasers since getting them this summer, but just showing people they have them has already made a difference.
One of them was a domestic where a person was believed to have a gun inside. He eventually came out without a weapon, but was very aggressive. When the weapon was armed, right away he complied.
There are several steps leading up to the taser's deployment. Red laser lights help with aim, and a warning sound lets people know that the taser is ready to go.
The totality of the circumstances, the size of the offender, the age, the sex, the size of the officer, the number of officers present, weapons, there's a whole lot of circumstances that dictate how and when.
Now every deputy on the road has one, giving them one more resource before a gun gets involved.
We tell people, if you don't comply, if you don't listen, you will be tasered, and this will hurt. Those are all things that the courts like to see, that we give people ample warning.
The 14 tasers cost about $20,000. The Michigan Municipal Risk Company provided $7,000 to help pay for them. Live in the newsroom, I'm Adora Namigadeh from Michigan This Morning.
Okay, thanks a lot, Adora. It's now 5:09 on Michigan This Morning, and still to come this half hour, more scattered showers and storms will be making their way through the area today. Michael explains how strong those storms will be in your full forecast at 5:12.
And what's trending Wednesday at 5:19, see some cool gadgets that might make your morning routine just a little easier. And which popular Northern Michigan basketball coach is announcing his retirement? Find out in sports at 5:24.